Welcome back to All Things Nerdy with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate. That's Joe. Tonight we have our traditional, supposed to be monthly, that has turned into like random as everything in the world as soon as we can get together kind of podcast. We're going to be talking about anime. We have Keeton and Eli. Look at that, crushing it. The usual anime podcast. We're going to be doing the same thing as we did last time. We're going to be knocking out some Chat GPT questions on the fly. We don't know what they are. I'm asking Chat GPT to fire them out randomly. And then we have to talk about it. Before we get in that, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been watching, what we like, what we don't like, and kind of go from there. Joe?
Yep. So super excited to talk. It's been a minute, like you said. It's supposed to be monthly, but we got to get back on the schedule.
I moved. You're going through stuff. Keaton's got stuff going on. Eli's been traveling. Like everything's been happening.
Keaton moved too since the last one.
I don't think it's been that long.
I don't know. I feel like it's been forever. But without further ado, let's talk nerdy. It might have been.
All right, well, let's kick it off. So, Eli, we'll go to you first, my guy. What are you watching right now? What are you enjoying?
I dove a little heavier into Frieren, and I'm getting back to Golden Kamuy, which I don't know if anyone else has watched that, but it is a really odd, unique, kind of absurd show. I've seen memes of it a lot because some of the actual lines from the show are like, that can't be really what they said, right? But it is. It's pretty interesting. Just Google that. Caught up on My Hero, which I know we'll get to. A lot of the shows I was watching week to week, they're done. Seasons are done. Like Reincarnated as a Slime or Failure Frame. So I'm kind of looking forward to these new seasons of our favorite shows hitting here soon too, like One Punch Man and whatnot.
Can't wait for One Punch Man. So what are you looking forward to coming out the most? One Punch Man?
I think I would say I'm like anticipating that one the most. I'm nervous because season 2 was so different than season 1 for me. So like I'm wondering how season 3 is going to be. But
see, I love season 2. I thought season 2 was so good. I love Garu. He was he's still to date probably one of my favorite villains in their interactions.
Season 2 got a lot of hate,
dude. Well, I mean,
I don't know. I feel like One Punch Man is just overrated in general. That's just my opinion.
Okay, we can just whatever. Keith, what you been watching?
So I just finished 86, which is. It was on my underrated animes to watch, but they had released the new season and I hadn't watched it yet at that point. And so I just rewatched the whole thing. It's a combination of like a Code Geass mecha, very political type anime.
Okay.
Pretty messed up thing. It's a combination of a lot of things. It's really good, actually. I would recommend y'all watch it.
Yeah, you advertised it on here before, right?
Yeah. That was on my underrated animes.
Yeah, you got me watching it. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 8 episodes in or so.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Nice. I struggle with mechs. I don't know what it is, but I had someone point out to me that Attack on Titan is just flesh mechs, and I love Attack on Titan. But for whatever.
Basically,
that's true. It's not they're not true mechs, but they control these like little I don't even know how to explain, like spider looking things.
It's an element of the show.
Yeah, it's an element of the show. Briefly, the country tells the citizens that those things being piloted are AI piloted, but they're really humans. Like Attack on Titan, how they thought that the people that they put on the island were shitty human beings. Well, they're doing like the same thing. So the Republic thinks it is AI, but it's actually little kids.
Oh God.
Yeah. Or teenagers.
That took a turn. Not what I was expecting.
It's like Ender's Game is what that reminds me of.
Anything?
Yeah. Weekly Blue Lock.
Bro, you don't talk about getting dragged. I've seen nothing good about the new Blue Lock season.
I mean, you can say it. I don't agree with that, but I think people. Anime community it's such a freaking animation driven community at this point
They're all
it
basically
gets on
Nate.
my freaking nerve.
Whoa.
What did he say?
I said they're all basically Nate, just overcritical of everything.
Can I remove you, Joe?
It's like, oh, look at me. I started watching anime as an adult, so I'm hypercritical of everything.
It doesn't look as good as Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good. Yeah, okay. I haven't
What?
seen the new season of Blue Lock yet, but I did watch the first season. And I will say I have never watched a real soccer match, not one in my entire life, but I was hooked on this show after the first episode. So
Yeah, it's a good
really
show.
good.
And I just want to say, I haven't seen it. I just said I haven't seen anything positive about it. Not that it's my opinion, because I have no opinion to share.
In. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Yeah. Nah, I've enjoyed it so far. I'm waiting for the dubs because I've watched every Bleach up to this point dubbed, and so 1,000-Year Blood War is supposed to be like one of, if not the best arcs in the whole show, and so I'm waiting for that to get dubbed, which is a little nuanced. But my regular show that I'm watching right now that I just started is Hajime no Ippo. I'd never watched it. Eli, have you ever watched Hajime no Ippo?
I've tried to start it a couple times, but
Okay, yeah, so it's an old anime. It's about boxing.
About boxing?
Yeah.
Dude,
You know, so many people say such good things about it, and I was like, screw it. While I'm on the sports anime, and I didn't want to watch Haikyuu because y'all are watching it on my account. So,
bro, we have not watched Haikyuu. Like, please go ahead and watch it. Don't wait on us.
I've already started Hajime no Ippo. So,
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah, right.
well,
Nate, you gotta watch Blue Lock and tell me if it would compare to Haiku. So,
well, I haven't even finished the first season of Haikyuu. Me and Steph, I think because it's just
37 episodes in, dude.
I think because it's in Japanese, it's just hard for me and Steph to sit down and like focus. Like, I can watch shows in Japanese myself when I have time, but it's really hard for me and Steph to be like, hey, like, can you full focus this shit and like watch?
They don't have a version on Crunchyroll.
No, it's not dubbed at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, it'd make it so much easier because we could put it on while we're cooking. We could have it on the TV all the time and hear it and watch it. But
I
would it be?
have a dub and a sub that I watch simultaneously because of that exact reason. It's like,
Yeah. And it's not even like, usually I like to throw shade at Steph, be like, yeah, Steph never makes time. It's not even her, man. It's just like even a lot of the live action that we watch, like we're just going and coming and doing other things. And like, it's really hard for us to just like sit down and focus.
No,
So,
I get that. But at the end of the day, subs always end up probably my favorite because I have to focus on it. Like it's
yeah.
But anyways, last thing and then we'll move on. Not anime, but the Penguin is good. The Penguin show.
You told me, and I have your log. I don't have your login in case Max ever watches this and like tries to come down on it. But I'm gonna start watching it soon as well.
Sure.
I just have to log in to my own account.
That's right.
Joe, what about you?
I recently watched the Rising of the Shield Hero. First season was actually really great. Second two seasons were not as good. It was like a massive drop off too. Like I was like, oh, this is really good, and I was like, oh, this got really bad. Third season was a little better than the second one, but just still nowhere near the first season. Watched Blue Lock, and then also finished Black Clover. I think as far as like what I'm anticipating is the next season of Black Clover. I think they announced that it's coming out like maybe in 2025, which is actually pretty soon when you think that it's already halfway through October. So, but yeah, and I think we've all talked about this. We've recently watched Dandadan.
Oh yeah, Dandadan and My Hero.
And My Hero. That's the kind of the recently kind of week to week things I've been watching. I'll tee this up for Nate and be like, My Hero definitely dropped off from the. Like, I was on the edge of my seat waiting for the next episode of My Hero when the season first started. But not so much anymore. And I didn't even realize the last episode was like the season finale. Like, I was like, what?
Bro, I still don't believe it.
Hey, before Nate gets going, make sure we've all eaten dinner. We have full stomachs.
I'll keep it short. So, Joe, anything you're looking forward to right now that you know that's coming out?
I mean, I did watch the first episode of Dragon Ball Daima, and it seems like it's going to be pretty decent from the first episode. It was like a recap of like all the way through.
If My Hero's taught us anything, it's that the fall off can be real.
the fall off can be real. So I'm interested to see what they do with that.
Are we ready? Want to jump into this? Okay, so what I've been watching, Dandadan, it's weird, it's off the wall. I'm here for it. I love it. I think it's so much fun. Not what I expected. I came across it on Facebook, and everybody's talking about how peak the manga is and how amazing and good. So I was like, dude, let me go check this out. I was not ready for what I dove into. And then I told these guys to go watch it, which Eli already knew. But I hit Keeton and Joe. I was like, y'all gotta go watch this. It's wild. And then Joe had us watch some of Goblin Slayer. So I was like, Joe, it's good. You don't have to worry about these things. But little did he know that he had to see other things.
It was just a different race, basically.
Yeah. But
I asked Nate. Nate's like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't involve any of that Goblin Slayers. Like, it's not goblins doing, you know what?" I was like, "Okay, all right." So I did it. I'm like, "Okay, so it's not goblins doing it.
It's not goblins. It's definitely not
alien."
I definitely said there were a bunch of moments where I'm really glad my wife didn't walk out there. Right, like as I'm watching it, like if Steph would have walked out there, I would have no way of explaining it. I've been like, "Yeah, just sit down."
No, I think this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but one of my favorite lines was just like, "We took such great of your clothing," that it like pans to it, just in shreds and shambles. That just cracked me up.
Dude, so I'm watching that, and I'm legit honestly enjoying it. Supposedly, it just gets better and better and better from like the manga. So I'm hoping everybody on Facebook's talking about how true it's staying and how like refreshing it is, and like they were expecting it to be terrible, and how surprised they've been by it, and how just it's supposed to keep getting crazy and good. So I'm excited. I'm enjoying that. I'm looking forward to One Punch Man. I can't wait. I love season 1. I love season 2 as well. I don't understand the hate. My Hero. All right, here we go. So My Hero, as we all know, I ranked My Hero in the top 5 at one point in time, right? But I am so sick and tired of the plot armor of nobody fucking dying. A show based on battles, like planet-ending abilities and stuff, right? Like looking at like Shigaraki can do, what All for One can do, everything, like, freaking Stars and Stripes. Some of the abilities in this world is crazy, and nobody dies constantly. And we all know how this is going to end up, right? Well, I assume how it's going to end up, and it's going to be Deku, touching the kid in Shigaraki, like relating to him and being like, we can be friends, we can save this world, and then it's going to be him and Shigaraki versus All for One, right? And that's the way I see it working out. But the fact that like Dobby didn't go down, if All Might doesn't, spoiler to anybody watching, if you have not seen this season of My Hero, A, don't take the time, B, swap channels right now, because I'm about to freaking spoil My Hero for you. If All Might does not fucking die, if he doesn't, the whole show is a wash. Like, it is down there below Fire Force for me, right? Like, it is dropped so much. My love for this show is non-fucking existent.
Look,
again.
See, my only gripe with Nate's like perspective is like, sir, there were 6 seasons before this that were the exact same. Why is it an issue now? Like literally, no one's died for 6 seasons.
To a head. Like it has to happen now.
No one's died for 6 seasons. And you're surprised.
So they were learning, they were growing, they were learning how to use their abilities. So I get not killing everybody off. Now we could have used 1 or 2 here and there. You couldn't kill All Might before now. It would mess up the story because All Might being the symbol that he is, helping Deku through, you couldn't do that. They could have definitely gotten rid of a couple characters here and there, but ultimately, like All Might was never an option. Waracho or whatever her name, like you couldn't do anything with her. They did kill twice, right? Which probably the only death, and he was like a villain, and the only meaningful one. Huh?
Did you care?
I actually really liked Twice. I didn't care. It didn't like they didn't do it in a way where like I felt it. Yeah, it didn't hit me, but I liked Twice. I thought his ability was awesome, and he was really growing as a person, and like you could see the struggle in the character. Like they just did it poorly. I don't know what it was. So yeah, Joe, there's been 6 other seasons and like they were good, but this was supposed to be the final season. They even talked about it being the final fucking season. So the fact that they decided to tack on another season after this bullshit of a season where literally nothing has happened. No needle has changed from episode 1 to episode now. Nothing has changed. It's still Deku and Shigaraki. All for One has gotten younger, and that's fucking it, right? We still have Endeavor out here. We still have Dobby
versus him.
Like literally nothing has changed. The writing is bad, honestly, right? The character development is bad. The story is going nowhere. The plot armor makes it insanely hard to watch because everything is pointless. Until the last episode, none of it matters.
We got a comment really quick. Jeffrey Barr says, "Hey ladies, good to see y'all again."
What up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy?
Man.
I'll say I'm gonna make my comments, and I'm gonna be very pointed to things I don't, and I'm not gonna rant on why too much. The All Might, the suit that's just bad writing. That is fucking awful.
And it came out of nowhere. They have no precedent for it, right? Like that.
Like, I met a friend in America. It's like, what about all your cool friends in Japan that could have done the same thing?
It's just atrocious.
I thought the suit itself was like badass, but it doesn't belong in this world or this show.
And
right?
it kind of like died down. I like him laughing and doing all that. Like that was kind of nostalgic and cool and whatever.
But I thought that laugh was iconic. Like it was awesome. So anyways, go ahead.
All right. 2, a microcosm of this show is the fucking Gravity and Frog Girl fighting the Blood Girl. Whatever. I don't know their names.
Toga, Aracho, and Froppy.
Which we've talked about all for this, that we like her as a villain. She's cool. She has some depth to her. But like their relationship and like, let us just be friends. Just talk to her.
While being swept away
by what? Like there's no form or connection but other than they like Deku, which is like, again, when we talked to Joe, Eli, you hadn't finished it yet, but we were texting outside of our group message, us 3, and it was like, all right, imagine trying to save the person that just because you have a crush, you've known for 6 months and has the same crush as you, that you're just going to save them life. On top of that, has murdered part of your village and your friends and is trying to murder all of them. Like it's dumb. It doesn't land. It's stupid. It makes no sense. At this point, we have all agreed it's for children.
It is. It's a child show.
And that's cool. Last thing.
Keaton just doesn't believe in friendship. That's what it is.
Oh, dude, Naruto. I love Naruto. That's all Naruto cares about.
Yeah,
100%. A lot better. Last thing. It really hit home to me how much this is like not resonating at the end. Whenever I saw a quick flashback of Stain, and I was thinking about how fucking cool Stain was as a character.
Yeah.
Stain the Hero Killer, that shit was badass. Like he was cool as fuck. And now it's like
he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just vanished. I was like, where? What? When that flashback happened, I was like, what's he doing? Like, why isn't he part of the show anymore?
Why did one of the handful of characters who actually had any sort of depth to them get bounced?
Dude, so Eli, we're gonna go to y'all. I just want to tell y'all this real quick. I watched a video the other day. The dude was talking about New Age Shonen and put My Hero over JJK. I've never wanted to virtually punch someone in my life so fucking much. How can you be so dumb? There ain't no way that's real.
That's insane. Yeah.
Maybe they hadn't finished it.
What are your thoughts, Eli? You just finished it. Like I felt like it was a slog for you. You were behind us, and we were not on time.
I had the same feelings of like I just lost my giving a shit about the show because it's like, oh man, another one. And I want to give props to them for like upping the animation. It's like movie quality. A lot of these episodes are like little standalone. The Dobby fight with the whole family there. Animation was great. I was like, do I need another reason to know why this family sucks? Like,
exactly. They should have died 2 or 3 seasons ago. Like,
yeah, come on, like, let it go.
It should have never made it that far. They literally talked about how hot Dobby burns and that his skin can't withstand it. And then his first fight with Todoroki, they said he's burning hotter than he's ever burned. If his normal flames burns him to a crisp to the point that he has to staple his skin, if he burns hotter at the rate he was burning than he's never burn. How the fuck is he still alive? It's just bad.
Hatred.
Go ahead, Eli. I'm sorry.
I really thought
Dragon
that,
Ball
you
Z
know,
on it at this point.
yeah, when we had the season premiere that like shows the dad as the new number one and he seems a little selfless. I was like, okay, I'm fine with a little redemption arc. I didn't care that much about that whole part of the story, but it's still going and we're still finding new ways that he is shit. Like he's a bad dad, he's bad. Like they're still coming up with new reasons why he's worse. Well, that's not really giving me any sort of closure on this. Then many rant with the All Might mecha suit. What are you doing? What are you doing with this? Like he just shows up. First off, it's an all for one suit. Let's be clear. He has stolen all the powers of all the Class A or whatever, and he has all their powers. Hello, that is ringing some bells. And then he shows up. He has the Ultra Iron Man suit. No explanation whatsoever. And then after they've been fighting for a bit, they just give you that tiny little flashback of like, oh, good thing I made that one friend a while ago who could make this for me. Are you kidding me? What explanation? Oh my God.
Think about how much more you would have Endeavor's character development on paper is good, but think about how much more you would have cared about. And I think we all probably like him, but how much you would have cared about him if something would have happened a season or two ago, like he died, or I don't freaking know, he fought all for one or something and actually won. I don't know, dude, but
bro, hear me out. Instead of All Might, there's been this whole transition between All Might and Endeavor, right? Former number one, new number one, becoming a symbol, trying to be what people can look up to, was already the symbol, something people were looking up to, right? Trying to be the father. All Might kind of being the pops of Deku and stuff, kind of imagine if Dobby dies. And then Endeavor is filled with so much hatred that he goes and fights all for one and actually finds a way to do it. All Might dies doing it. Fucking Endeavor steps up and finds a way to do it based on the hatred of, because All for One has already said I am the reason Dobby is the way Dobby is, right? I did this, I manipulated, dude. So much better of a story, in my opinion. That would be wild.
Could happen. I mean, Dobby spoiler alert, Dobby just died.
He's fighting All Might in a freaking Gundam suit right now. That's not
but Endeavor is missing an arm now, right? And
he has a hole in his body.
He's got a hole in his body and missing an arm.
Yep. He's fine. Dobby's fine. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Let's go with this.
Okay, so we all agree My Hero sucks. Are we ready for questions?
Okay, I have one thing because I came to a revelation about this where we're watching all these super heavy episodes and whatever, and we're supposed to care about the characters and whatever. And I realized the ultimate downfall of this show is they have just tried to make you care about too many characters. They could have just had these guys as ancillary, they're there, they do their part, whatever. But no, they actually try to create some sort of story with all the characters. Impossible. They can't do it. Yeah. And now we're seeing that because they're trying and just failing miserably with these little culminated
cutscenes.
And I thought that to me the Ochako, I didn't care about this character at all. But that episode to me was better than the Endeavor and Dobby episode because I didn't care about that family. They just showed up.
Yeah. So, and on Eli's point, trying to make you care about all the different people. When it did the flash of all the class, as he was using his suit.
Yes,
I had forgotten half of that class. I was like, oh yeah, those were part of that class. I was like, oh.
Also, let's be honest. All Might, his last all is Class A, power me, little children. Yeah. You care about him that? I mean, anyways.
But
yeah, I have not seen the Invisible Girl this entire season except for that one little flashback, Joe.
That's fair.
Dude, them trying to make you care for the mutant dude, big face, multiple arms, and stuff like that. He hasn't been relevant the whole show. Right. Why are we taking 3 episodes to look at this dude? And also, you get one, where the villains will, resonate with you and, change their plans. You get one, right? One that you can convince. Naruto did it with Pain. Other than that, it's, full-out fighting. You win or you lose. But now we have the mutants resonating with him. We have Toga resonating with or Chaco, right? Or whatever. It is just a common theme. I believe it's going to be Deku and Shigaraki, resonating with each other and becoming friends. It is literally just constant over and over and over. At this point, the writers are making fun of everyone that watches the show.
It's a very
You guys
poorly
just hate
done
friendship.
Naruto. It's
You guys
a
just
very
hate friendship.
poorly done
That's
Naruto.
So
I will say, out of what I don't know, like 5 people that have died in 7, 8 seasons or whatever, I've not felt like even Dobby was one of my favorite characters, and even I'm assuming he's dead at this point. Right, he could not be. He could just somehow they resurrect his crispy body, but I didn't
it's
even
going to be
really
the
feel
tears
that.
of Endeavor that
Like,
brings him back.
Like when he died, I literally said, "About fucking time."
Right, like that was what I was like, wow. I was like, this should have happened when he fought Todoroki. Like, I don't like that. But with Naruto, like, I felt pretty much every death that came through. Like, spoiler alert, like Asuma, Jiraiya, like those, like,
Yeah.
But those deaths meant something. They weighed on you. They carried. They also made you realize that at any point they can go, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I love JJK. Like, especially season 2, you really don't fucking know. They went full Game of Thrones, like, God dang. But it means something. It makes the whole show more exciting because every episode I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to lose somebody? Are they going to find a way through it? On My Hero, I'm just like, it doesn't matter because they're going to live and they're going to be freed and they're not going to be captured and they're going to whatever. They're going to find a way to escape. And
yeah, we've seen less than a handful of deaths ever on My Hero, and we're pretty sure at least half of them are coming back still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think when we were talking about the top 5, like our first episode of this, when we were talking about My Hero, I was like, the first death I remember is she just got hit with some cement and died. I was like, what? I don't even understand that death. It was like a passing thing. Like, I was like, My Hero sucks when it comes to that kind of thing. But
yeah, and why are you gonna do that to midnight? That's not cool. Of all the people,
so random.
why midnight? Yeah, right.
Why Toga? Like, why?
Well, I don't think Toga's dead. I mean, they're gonna
the bird fly away. Okay, so we all know what that means. But yeah, they'll probably save her somehow.
Yeah, they'll save her. So we ready to jump into questions versus keep dragging My Hero?
Let's
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good to keep dragging My Hero. I got nothing but fucking time and a lot of opinions. I'm just so sad because I loved it so much. Like, I went to bat for it. A lot of people's like, the fandom is terrible. The people are terrible. I was like, but the animation is good. I enjoy it. The plot line is pretty solid. Last season, I think, is better than this season, right? Last season with the city and all that, I thought was money. But this season, massive letdown.
I would not say the whole season. The first half of this season, like, I was on the edge of I was liking it. Like, with what was the American Hero, Stars and Stripes, like, that was like, they kicked it off really well. Like, I was like, this is like first 8 episodes maybe. Like,
before this started, I was like, I'm way more excited about My Hero than Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
this latest season.
Stars and Stripes was badass. She was cool. Yeah, 100%. That whole thing, I thought that was well done. That's the best part of the whole show. Like, the first 2 episodes, the only thing you need to watch of the season. Then just wait for next season. So, all right, let's do this. So, the one we're going to kick it off with, and the way this works, it'll be round robin. We'll ask questions. Everybody will answer, including myself. I have ChatGPT. I have a list of questions here. I will ask them to ask one at random. But I saw a fun little video, and I was like, oh, this is a cool little question, right? So, I want to ask that question, and then we'll get into ChatGPT. And the first question is, if there was a main character who was the actual villain of their world, what world would be in the most trouble? Right? So think like if Naruto was the villain, could the rest of the world find a way to stop Naruto?
I feel like that's easy. It's too easy.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, okay, let's take out Saitama, right? Like, that doesn't count. Cause like that dude.
One Punch Man. Yeah, that is good.
So other than Saitama, like, who would it be?
Keaton, who you going with?
I think I need a second to think about this.
Yeah,
I got mine.
Eli. Well, timeout. First off, South Alabama lost to the Tide. Keaton, just so you know. All right, Eli, who do you got? What do you got?
It's Yuji Itadori, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Really?
If he weren't fighting the evil, if he lost the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen, if he lost the battle internally against the ultimate demon, the fingers, that's game over. We've already seen how strong that guy is. Like he wipes everyone out. Like if that happened to anybody else
in the manga,
he lost that war.
Toto will whoop his ass. One hand and all.
They could just seal him in that little thing that Gojo got trapped in. I mean,
I need a list of the anime I've watched.
They're not gonna do that. But yeah,
he was defeated before, and he's all fingers now, so it's obviously possible to defeat him. Like it's not like it hasn't been done before. The whole show is literally them collecting his fingers from when he was defeated. So he has a weakness, and he has a way to be defeated
somehow. But I'm still like, I guess I'm a little confused by the power scaling in that show, just in general, because we've seen like that summoned creature towards the end. It's like, oh, this is literally unbeatable by anyone except Sukuna, maybe, I guess.
Well, even Sukuna struggled with it, yeah.
Yeah, so like we're seeing just like the disparity between people's power levels is insane, it seems like. But that just leads you to believe, okay, well, the Sukuna is this top dog. Well, he's like worlds apart from everyone else. So.
And they do talk about how afraid of Sukuna they are, right? Which is why they wanted to kill Yuji. So clearly, like even the most talented freaking jujitsu people in the world are terrified of Sukuna. I think Sukuna's a great answer. He has been beaten before, whatever reason, whatever happened. I don't think that power still exists. I think Sukuna runs the whole JJK universe without Yuji Itadori. But I think the argument to be made here is Sukuna is the villain. Yuji is the hero. So if you were to take Yuji and put him as Yuji over on the other side and say make Sukuna a hero, right?
Well, that's why I'm saying if Yuji weren't playing for the good guys, he just leans into it. And
but
then
my argument is
that he becomes a Sith Lord.
But that's not you. That's not Yuji though. That's Sukuna, and Sukuna's already a villain. So I don't think that works.
That's what I say at the beginning. Like it's two different people. Like Yuji can't like give in because then he would no longer exist. Like
he would be Sukuna.
All right, I got one. We'll pivot. Mob.
Oh. Yeah, so that was my answer. That's what I was going to say. Mob was my answer. And Naruto is what I was going to say because I don't know if Naruto, if he was a villain, what they would do. But, dude, Mob is next level. Yeah.
Yeah, Mob would destroy
I got one for y'all.
He would also be the most nonchalant villain ever.
I love that show.
Reagan would take him down.
Yeah. Reagan's a top tier character.
What you got, Joe?
Ash Ketchum.
I thought about that for a second too.
Like Ash Ketchum is like Team
the
Rocket.
Leader of Team Rocket. The whole world would not be safe. All the good he did reversed.
Oh, dude, my head can't even understand that.
Exactly, like it's just too out there to even think about.
I imagine his Charizard running through villages, like just torching everything, while his Pikachu like walks by as a fucking menace and like just touches people to shock them. Pikachu, shock. Like as he's cutting up.
And instead of saving all the legendaries, he harnesses their power and just works them like slaves.
Jeez.
Turns Mewtwo, doesn't turn Mewtwo. Remember, like he changed Mewtwo's mindset, doesn't turn Mewtwo's mindset. Whole world gems.
What a movie.
I didn't think about that.
It's bleak. It's bleak outlook.
I'm interested to hear what they did you get an answer on that video that you watched? Did they answer at all? You said you got this question from a video, right?
Oh, yeah, they talked about it. A lot of them talked about it. It was like 4 different guys, maybe 5, all sitting around chilling, talking about it. So, but they said they basically went to like Naruto and talked about how he would fucking just body all of them.
I
don't know. I mean, he's
one person really his equal. So just put Sasuke in.
Yeah, the final battle. I mean,
Baryon mode.
Have you seen that yet?
I haven't, no, but that's what they said.
So that whenever I told you to continue Boruto, like that's the
Yeah.
next thing I'm telling you is that
Yeah,
I've
you gotta watch it first.
I've seen some videos of Baryon mode, and that's what they were talking about. Is Baryon mode just God mode, and like he would just body the whole Naruto verse with Baryon mode.
Yeah, but there's like
there's
to that. So
there's drawbacks, there's consequences, and every great power comes with that kind of thing, trade-offs.
All right, here we go.
But on the whole JJK, like, what if Gojo was bad? Like, no one could touch him.
Apparently, Yuji becomes like OP. I'm assuming him and Sukuna find a way to mesh their powers or something, but apparently, like, he would destroy Gojo at this point in the manga.
Dang, I'm so excited! I can't wait. JJK was probably like what I'm most excited to see come back.
Yeah, so
I gotta rewatch that last season to kind of refresh everything.
All right, so
worth rewatching.
I just rewatched it with Steph, and I will tell you, like in season 2, at the end of season 1, Steph's like, "Oh, this is probably one of the best fights I've seen." And then at season 2, which y'all know what I'm talking about. She was like, "Damn!" Like it was awesome. So I was hyped to watch it with Steph. It was really fun. So the question we have, and if your answer is not My Hero, it's wrong, right? Which anime has the most emotionally powerful moments, and which scene hit you the hardest?
Oof.
I have my answer. I can answer whenever.
go ahead.
Naruto, Jiraiya, fucking beat it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Assassination Classroom.
What is it?
Assassination Classroom.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
haven't seen that.
Dude, the only anime I've ever cried.
After
Okay,
you mentioned it, I went back and
I'm gonna have to write this
episode
down.
1 for like the 3rd time, but
Dude, it is a slow burn. It took a while to get through, but like I think it's 50 episodes. It pays off.
A slow burn with 50 episodes. We got through Naruto. Like what?
But I feel like you would like it, Eli. It's definitely more of a friendship type, and not a corny ass way. You just have to. I'll tell you the precedence of it. Anyway, no.
Well, I'm adding it to the list of like what to watch next. If it's that powerful, like it's at least worth getting through.
Another one for me, and I don't think it was the most powerful. I think it was the most consistent in a not on the nose kind of way, but just makes you care for everyone. Is Furin, or however you pronounce it. That show consistently just makes you care for everybody, and it does it in such a good way. Their storytelling is top notch. It is amazing. I like the animation. You care for the characters, and it's not just like a surface level care. Even like the 2 girls in the tournament, or like you come to like care for it. The writing is so good.
yeah, it's really interesting because the low key the animation is exquisite in that show too, but they don't like flex it, but it just is. But then somehow that show has writing, I guess, is so good. Like they have tapped into like the nostalgia section of your brain. Like I haven't lived in this fantasy world. I don't know any of these people, but like it gives me a yearning to like go on this adventure or, like meet these people, just have the small moments with everyone. It's interesting. That's really unique about it.
Yeah,
it is. It does like captivate you in an extremely unique way. I'll admit I was someone who I saw the hype about it, and I'm like, I'll watch it, and I'm like watching it, and I'm doing it while I do stuff. But like halfway, and I was like a little bit through, and I'm googling like, is Fearing worth watching? And it's like, yeah, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna keep watching it. And like halfway through, I was like, holy shit, I'm sure y'all are the same way. You have shows where it's not a chore to watch the next episode, but like you may watch 1 a night or maybe 2 a night. And I found myself, especially in the middle to the end, like finding reasons to sit down or like do chores, because I'll watch a lot of stuff while I do chores. But like I'm like, well, let me do some chores because I want to watch Freerin.
Yep.
I was the same way. And any show now at this point in my life, like anime that can do that, is incredible.
That is exactly what I was going to say. It is one of the only animes where I felt like I had to go back. I wanted to watch. I laid down in bed early, right? I didn't play video games. I would sit on the couch and watch it. I could not wait for the next episode.
How do you spell Furin? I got to add this to the list.
F-R-I-E-R-E-N.
This goes to the top of the list, Joe. It is
F-R-I-E-R-E-N.
It actually has some better rated episodes than Attack on Titan. It has like some of the highest rate on Crunchyroll. I think it is the highest rated anime on Crunchyroll.
Okay, well, Attack on Titan.
So,
10, I don't know.
Here's the problem with that is when new stuff that's really, really good comes out, it becomes highly rated, and then as it continues, it gets rated. Not even like as the show continues, but like Attack on Titan had like 3 of the top 5 IMDb episodes of all time, but now they don't have like a top 10. It just kind of happens. Yeah. But not saying that it's not that good, because it is that fucking good, but it won't be there for long.
Honestly, it had me like pretty early on too. Their ability to like flash back, but it be a story versus like Naruto's flashback and like Shippuden's where it's like flashback on flashback. Like there were a lot of flashbacks, but they felt relevant. They felt important. It felt like it was pushing the story forward, and all of it. Like Eli said, they found a way. I don't know what it was, but they found a way for you to just like. I don't even have the anime nostalgia, and it just hit me all over. Like I fucking loved it.
Yeah, what was the question again?
I think the only reason I even, I guess, was like, should I watch this or should I continue watching this? Because I just finished Mushoku Tensei, and it was like, it's a magic anime too, and I think it's made by the same studio because the animation's real similar. So I felt like I wanted a change of pace, but I'm really glad that I didn't change my pace because it was worth it.
Yeah. Joe, the question was, which anime has the most emotionally powerful moments and which scene hit you the hardest?
Okay. All right. Well, we've talked through two animes that I haven't seen. So on this, I'm like 0 for 2 on the, relatableness, I guess. But I was trying to think through, and like a couple things popped in my mind. Like one was just because I watched it recently, right? The Rising of the Shield Hero, like the first season. Like there wasn't actually one moment where I was like, "Oh, that's the show," but it was like the stuff that he had to go through and had to deal with. I was just like made me feel for the guy. I was like, "Wow!" Like I'd be pissed too. Yeah. And then when I'm trying to think of most iconic moments, like it just goes back to my childhood when Goku first became a Super Saiyan. Like that's like it. Like when you kind of put it against other anime, like no, not really. Like it doesn't compare to the loss of Jiraiya or Asuma, like that kind of thing. But it's just like when you think of iconic moments in anime, like
cool, like sad moment.
Yeah, I mean the reason he became a Super Saiyan.
Little Joe cried when he saw the hair turn yellow, huh?
I did not.
Yeah.
Ready for the next one? This is kind of fun.
Well, I gotta throw one out there.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it, Eli. Sorry, my bad. We had such a long conversation.
Well, you might appreciate this one, but I think one of the things that I've had a couple that like hit me really hard, but the one that stuck with me like forever was Trigun, Wolfwood.
Oh yeah.
What did you say?
I guess we're going full spoilers, but when Wolfwood dies towards the end of Trigun, that
hurts.
Stuck with me forever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been I've watched Trigun so long ago, I don't even remember.
Dude, Trigun is really good. Although the story is not the most coherent, the way you feel for the characters is still like a really important part of the show, and you do really like Wolfwood, and the way he dies, you're like, damn, like that's a good one. It didn't even register with me. That's a great answer though.
Oh, that throwback anime though, like filling moments, like the Full Metal Alchemist when Edward comes back and the dog and the girl.
That's just fucked up. That's not even that's a whole different kind of thing. I see a lot of people like make plays and stuff on that. That's just a whole fucked up moment. Like when they were writing that, somebody was like, "Bro, I got something," and they're like, "Oh, let him cook," and he wrote it down, and they were just like, "That's so fucked up. We have to do it."
Yeah, they're like, "Holy, do it! Put it in there right now."
I don't know how you like sit around and like storyboard that, and people are like, "Yeah, that's a good twist. Let's do that."
I mean, same person who wrote the first episode of Goblin Slayer, I would assume.
Jesus. Okay, on to the next question. If you could swap any two anime characters between different series, who would you swap and how would it change the story?
Oh my god.
That's an interesting one. I feel like in a lot of shonen anime, like one of the main badass dudes is, a white-haired dude. Like
Kakashi.
it's like Kakashi, Gojo, like you could just like swap them out. They're all interchangeable anyway. So it's like you wouldn't really even notice a difference if you swapped them because they're just badass white-haired dudes. Like, I don't know.
That's tough. That's a very ambiguous question.
Would they keep their powers in the new universe?
Yeah, you're just swapping them. So, I mean, that does kind of fuck with it because power scaling across universes can be weird, but I'm thinking more like personality and like whatever than like pure badassness, Like the one that immediately came to mind for me was the guy off Samurai Champloo, the real like just kind of dodgy one that's just pissed off about the world. And Kakashi, because imagine that dude trying to like be the sensei for like Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke, and that just cracks me up. So immediately, like I'm swapping those two.
I'm kind of wondering about the dynamics with like Goku and Saitama. It's kind of similar, but their personalities are so different. Put in those same situations, I wonder how that would go.
Goku just want to try to find the strongest person and fight him in front of everyone. He doesn't care.
Saitama's like low key strong, and Goku's just dumb. So, how do they play?
Joe?
Maybe trading out like Gojo for Levi.
Oh God! He
Just flip the whole world upside down.
Did you say Gojo for Levi? Like Captain Levi?
Yeah, Captain Levi.
Like on Attack on Titan? That changes everything.
Exactly. Like I want to see some chaos. I want to see some chaos. Let's see what happens. Levi would die within 10 minutes in Gojo's world, but Gojo would own like the Attack on Titan world.
I'm just trying to think of a Titan trying to attack him through infinity. Like,
even like what is the gigantic one called? The Colossal Titan, just like trying to step on him. His foot won't go down.
Man,
my head goes to like, I'm trying to think. I think the staple, and I'm going between his comparisons, but the staple is Light Yagami, and put him in a different universe. Like, what the fuck would he do in like the Code Geass universe? Or
I think Light Yagami and Lelouch are the same person. Like, I like Lelouch more. I think he's more likable, but like essentially their skill set is the exact same. They're both just real smart and
but one can write names and just kill people that way.
That's true.
So what would he? I'm trying to think of a different universe that it would fit in.
Just stick him in Hunter x Hunter universe.
Yeah, so they can kill all the fucking boring ass animals.
Just write down the king.
Get it over.
He wouldn't be able to write down the king.
Or how about put him in My Hero so that people actually fucking die? How about that one?
His notebook wasn't open then, or he'd like open it and be like, "I'm gonna write your name."
Be like a
They would be like,
belt for the notebook.
yeah, they'd be like, "But we're friends," and he'd be like, "I can't do it, but I want to." Some ridiculous shit like that. So. All right, I'm not doing a great job doing round robin. We're just kind of talking. Did I miss anybody?
No, we've all said something.
Okay. So I have I don't know if we talked about this one last time. It came back up. It is, what anime has the best soundtrack and how does it enhance the viewing experience?
Yeah, we talked about that.
We did? Okay. It came back up, so I just wanted to make sure. Here's another one. If you could give any anime a sequel or continuation, which one would it be, and what would you want to happen?
Oh, that was tough. I feel like all the anime that I'm watched like is not finished yet.
I gotta actually pull up my list of what I watched for this one.
Like a true sequel, or could we do like
Or a
backstory?
continuation. Yeah, it could be a continuation.
Oh, that
That's
was
a good
tough.
question. I mean, I think like Hunter x Hunter not being finished is obviously an obvious one because it's apparently everybody's read the manga says it gets even better.
Yeah. I mean,
The hard thing is like most anime, do they finish well?
no.
Yeah.
They're
So it's like,
all-
do you want a continuation or do you want an alternate finish?
Ooh, that's a good question too. We can just work that in.
Maybe
not
we
just
get
did
rid of
that.
Boruto and just do like right after Naruto ended, like what they did up to Boruto. Like that's what I want to see versus Boruto.
I'd be good with that. I would like that. I'm still pissed off that Naruto didn't spend more time in Sage Mode. Sage Mode was perfection, and they just fucking skipped right over it. But maybe more Sage Mode Naruto would make me happy. But I have other answers too. So Naruto for Joe. Keaton, Eli, what do y'all got?
No,
Eli, you go first.
it's kind of tough, honestly, because like I'm just flipping through some of my favorite old shows, but they're at the point where they've already been remade or something now. like 15 years later, there's a new season, or they've remade the show or something. So I kind of already got a lot of it. Don't know. I mean,
What about a Steins Gate sequel?
Haven't
well,
even seen
they
that.
already did like an alternate universe Steins
true.
Gate, like Steins Gate 0.0 or something. And like, oh, okay, like, so, and then it just feels unnecessary in the end anyway. So, no, it's kind of tough.
I'm trying to think. Are there any like 12 episode animes that we've watched that we like Erased or Parasite or something?
Samurai Champloo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I would watch more Samurai Champloo
sure,
all day.
more
A
shows. I'd like
different
more
season
people.
2 of Vinland Saga.
I think Vinland Saga is something that if you went back and like went into it with a mindset that it's a complete change, that you would like it more.
That's what
I'm speaking for myself as well.
So that I've said that multiple times. If Vinland Saga season 1 was its own show, and then Vinland Saga season 2 was like a different show, then I think it would be good. I think I would be more open-minded to it. But knowing what Vinland Saga season 1 was, I personally was not ready for Vinland Saga season 2, and I kept waiting. And honestly, it almost took away from the quality that was season 2. So season 2 is not bad. Animation is great. The character development is fucking beautiful, right? Like it is crazy how they make you feel for all the characters in it. But I don't really love when the protagonists like swear off, violence and everything. I feel like it just delays everything by like 6 to 8 episodes, because then there's a traditional arc. The protagonist swears off violence, something happens that breaks them or puts them into the position where they have to do it to defend people, and it's just rinse and repeat kind of thing. So I don't love that. But
Ooh, I thought of one.
Keaton.
New modern season Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's bring it back.
Oh, well, that would be incredible.
Like
That's like
quality.
serious. Like if I could get any show, remade or anything, it would definitely be that, because it's not that. It's hard for me to be like, Nate, you need to put Yu Yu Hakusho at the top of your list.
I'm actually looking for something that I can like binge from an anime perspective right now, because Boruto is just not doing it for me as much as I want it to.
Well, it's old art, and the first season is not that great. It's like kind of slow.
Watch Black Clover. That's pretty good.
I've heard how terrible that is, Joe.
No,
It's not bad.
No, Black Clover.
Black
It's kind of
Clover's
like
good.
it's pretty average for a while, though. I mean, it's good. It keeps you captivated.
I'm just gonna watch One Piece.
My thing, if we're intertwining, if we could change shit, is like Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul's first season was really good.
Yeah, what happened to that show?
I don't. It just started sucking.
Like, I don't even
It's
feel like the
also
same
the first
characters, are they?
Do what?
Like, I really love season 1 too, and then I was like, oh, let me keep watching this show. I was like, wait, where did all the characters go?
Yeah, I think after they just like completely
I have one that's like maybe they changed the ending of the season. I don't know if it's renewed for a second season or not. Hell's Paradise.
It is. It's renewed. I think it's been renewed for a third season. Hell's Paradise. I really enjoyed the first season. I like the art, but
I didn't like the last episode. Like
I hate anytime they do. Oh, your brain has been erased. Like, what the fuck was the point of the whole season? Why did I just watch all this?
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I forgot completely about Hell's Paradise. Like, I need my list in front of me. I need to make this list.
Maybe another season of Promised Neverland just to see.
Oh yeah, I never finished season 2.
I liked it. I liked it. It wasn't like as good as season 1, but like maybe just to continue the story and see how they.
I don't think I would watch another episode of Promised Neverland. I think it ended kind of where it should have. Just
would never watch another episode.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just
say Nate's the super critical anime watcher. Like, oh,
I just thought it ended fine. I don't
let
think
me sip my tea while I judge all the anime. I'll never watch another episode of Promised Neverland.
I said I'd be okay if I didn't. Right? It was good. The first season was wild. You don't talk about shock factor. I had no idea what I was walking into. Right? But it was a good shock. It's different than fucking Goblin Slayer shock. It was like a cool shock. I was like, I was not ready for that. For me, it would be, I think, Psycho-Pass. I think I would love more Psycho-Pass. I enjoyed it. I did season 2. I wish focus some more on like season 1, like the dude running away and all that. Like, I really enjoyed that first character in season 1. I can't remember his name. I could probably go look at it. But the twist from season 1 to season 2, I didn't love, but if they put out another season, like, I would definitely watch it.
Well, it was good. I was thinking that too. Like, that was one of the ones I had kind of on the top of my head. But
have y'all watched Cyberpunk on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Solid show.
Yeah.
Well, I've already added 2, Fearin and Assassin Classroom. I got it
super quick too.
Ooh, this is a little different one. If you could bring any anime object or item into real life, what would it be and why?
Sucking his finger. I'm just kidding. That's I would not eat his finger, guys. There's so many items though.
I have an answer. If y'all want my answer first,
go ahead.
The fruit in One Piece that gives people their powers, I'd bring that over. It'd be cool shit. As long as I got one. Caveat: I want one.
That's actually pretty cool because you got so many people that have so many different powers. It does create a very unique like world building.
I'm just gonna bring the Dragon Balls and wish for whatever I want.
You say Dragon Balls?
Yep, I'm gonna bring the Dragon Balls, make my 3 wishes, and then I'll have 3 of whatever.
What would your 3 wishes be, Joe?
I don't know. That's an entirely separate question. Like immortality. Something like that. I don't know.
That sounds awful. I don't understand the whole immortality thing. Why do you want to live that long? That sounds brutal.
I want to watch the world burn, Nate. Like,
if I was immortal, I would cause the world to burn. I would, everywhere. Keeton, Eli, what do y'all got?
Eli, you got one?
I think the answer is obvious. I mean, clearly, it's All Might's Ultra Iron Man suit because they get all those powers all at once. Man, let's go!
Get out of here! But this suit just disintegrates so quickly.
Oh man,
it's like that was cool for half a second.
Light's notebook.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people mention it, but like, what do you do with that?
I don't think I want power. That's too much.
What about? I haven't seen it, but what about Trigon Dude's gun? Is it pretty badass?
Kind of integrates with him. I think it's more the character than the gun, maybe.
Yeah, you talking about his arm one? Like I haven't
watched it, but I know it's like a big ass, like 3 3-pronged revolver looking thing.
It'd be funny was like one of the power level, the scouters from Dragon Ball Z, just to be like judge everyone like your power level is 4. You're so insignificant.
I think a mecha suit would obviously be awesome, like one from like Neon Genesis or something.
Like some Code
Just
Geass
a
next.
whole Gundam.
Oh yeah.
The suits in Akame ga Kill. Is it Akame or Kill la Kill? I can't remember which one. Anyway,
A Pokemon is considered an item, right? Like,
yeah.
like it in the Pokemon world,
Pokemon,
they are.
broken.
I was gonna bring a Charizard.
Imagine how much better our life would be if we had Pokemon like that, though. Like, I remember being as a kid, like throwing the little Burger King Pokeballs and just like wishing there were like little Pokemon running around that I could go catch and stuff like that.
Here's the problem, though. Everything that my mind is wandering to, Pokemon included, I immediately think of how awfully the world would respond to these things. Like,
they would.
You
they
get
would
a
100%.
You get a Gundam, you get a mecha suit. Government shows up at your door the next day. You're gone. You disappeared. Okay.
Yeah. Have we seen Transformers? Everybody seen Transformers? The same thing.
Bro. I just want to say, if I had a mecha suit like freaking All Mights and the government showed up, they'd call me fucking daddy the next day. I'm the government now.
I'm pretty sure they can destroy you.
Yeah, I am Iron Man.
Yeah. What does the world do with Pokemon? I don't want to know.
That's
God.
That's scary. That's real scary.
I mean, probably a lot of underground fight tournaments, I would assume.
I mean, really, we have pets now, and like they do some fucked up stuff, but really, it's not that bad, you know. I mean, imagine how cool it'd be to like to have a Blastoise out in the ocean and be like surf, and like you're just surfing. You know, airlines would go out of business because everybody just owned like a little flying Pokemon go everywhere. Tourism would be crazy.
There's a guy that rode my school bus in middle school that did some weird stuff to his cat. So,
Dittos would go extinct really quick. You'd probably know what like Blastoise soup tasted like. Just like
turtle soup. I mean, that's pretty common.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true. That is true.
We're not gonna go down the Ditto rabbit hole.
We all, we're resigned with that. It's fine.
Yep. It's probably the same thing as the Vaporeon that everyone always jokes about.
Not that post.
Oh my gosh! All right, next question. Which anime world would you want to explore if you could take a vacation there for a week?
With my current abilities and power?
There's no context to that. So, man, live your best life. Let's say you go to the world and you would fit in. You inherit, you not like peak status ability, but like an ability to survive for the week that you're there.
I mean, honestly, the Pokemon world, right? Like, you don't need any special ability to enjoy that.
Least amount of chance you're going to die. Like,
exactly. I assume.
I don't know if I'm going Pokemon because just imagine, you don't have a Pokemon. You are going to have to go buy the Pokeballs, hope you catch something, train them. You have a week to do this, right? So the most you're going to get is like level 11. You're not going to get to see any cool evolutions. You're probably going to lose more than you win. That sounds like a terrible vacation.
Safari Zone, bro. Safari Zone all day. Like, all you got to do is go to Safari Zone. I'm not going to Attack on Titan. Like, right. I would be dead so fast. I mean, not going into Dragon Ball Z, like, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Cowboy Bebop would be cool other than the fact that most of the worlds are just rundown cities like we already have.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty spot on. This is the same as we live in now. Let me check my list here. What am I thinking?
I should have made a list.
Goblin Slayer.
God, no. I mean, Vinland Saga, like, it's beautiful, but it's like our world now, and they have like no powers other than being like badasses. You can't guess that or say that. That's, dude, other than like the whole demon thing, Demon Slayer world is beautiful.
Is that not
well, I guess if you had the powers to survive,
You have. I mean, we said you have the
Haunted by
powers to
demons.
survive.
Besides
You
the
have.
whole demon thing in Demon Slayer.
I get it, but we established that you have the powers to survive, so you're not going to die. So therefore, I could go like enjoy the world of Demon Slayer. I think I'd be okay with that.
Hey, I don't know if you
I'm just
watched
gonna go
that show,
train
but
with
people
Goku
die
and
there.
Vegeta for a week. I'm just gonna go train with them for a week.
I think the solo leveling world would be pretty cool because you get to pick and choose the monster gates and stuff. You know,
Dude,
I think
what
that.
about freaking Freerin?
That would be cool. Yeah, that's like playing D&D.
Yeah, true.
We should do D&D and just like gather and play D&D on camera for the people.
As long as you're the dungeon master.
For
I'm good
the
with it.
people. Yeah.
Hey, there's 3 people watching right now.
Yeah, what's up, watchers? So this character is one we've already kind of had. What anime character do you think would thrive in a completely different anime genre? I mean, Gojo.
Any of the main characters, really?
Okay, here's a good one. Which anime series has the most unique or creative fight scenes, and what makes them stand out?
I mean, you can't say fight scenes without thinking Demon Slayer right at the beginning.
Unique and creative.
Man, this feels silly. I'm not even like that big of a fanboy, but Jujutsu Kaisen keeps coming to mind like kind of right away. Like,
Yeah.
powers, domain expansion, the way that everyone learns to utilize their stuff, and the way that the show actually dives into like how people combine their talents in fight scenarios too. Like, it's pretty cool.
And I would say, I mean, it's not necessarily like combat, but Blue Lock's like matches, like the way they combine their abilities and stuff like that. Like, and
Yeah,
the
that's
behind those, like
I thought out.
that'd be pretty cool.
That's
Like
a
those
good
are
one.
awesome.
I like y'all's head with that. My head, when they say creative and stuff, is like, I guess how it was fought or how it was shot, like from the creator standpoint. When I thought about that, I thought about Mob and the first fight in the first season, like the first big one, where the camera's like panning behind them and like the camera's doing all this crazy shit. Like I thought that was creative and unique.
Yeah.
I think Mob is probably would be where my answer is, just because like from a uniqueness, because Mob isn't really out here trying to hurt anybody, so his fights aren't necessarily like fights right off, you know. So it's just done in such a tasteful, cool way that it's like fighting without fighting. I know like there's a couple where like he's fighting and he's, you know, surviving and all that, but like I don't know what it is. I really like the Mob answer. I think that's a good one.
Trying to think of, I don't know.
So this one is a much more specific and kind of different than the rest of the other questions. Who is the best dual wield swordsman of all the animes?
That's like I mean, I guess the easy answer is freaking Roronoa Zoro.
Yeah. I don't even watch the show, and I know that's the answer, right?
Yeah, and that's just like the most.
I mean, I guess the question is is he technically a dual wielder? Because like he's like a tri and quad wielder, right? Like,
He has the ability though, right? So.
yeah. I mean, he's probably one of the better swordsmen of all of them.
Ooh, personal favorite, Karaku Shunsui from Bleach, and he's showing back up in like the new seasons here too. But he was always my favorite character. I had watched like all of it up until the new stuff, Blood Wars or whatever, and I just it feels like a filler from the get go. But I have to keep watching it because I have to see the captains do their stuff.
Dude,
so.
it's good. You should watch Thousand Year Blood War. It's solid.
Yeah.
I've thought about watching Bleach a couple times, but I just never made it around to it.
Shunsui was my first cosplay.
It's tough. It's good. I watched it relatively recently. I will say Dororo. I know Joe and they probably haven't seen it. Eli, have you seen Dororo?
No, it's high on my list, but I haven't watched it.
It's kind of, he's not a dual wield. This is weird. He's basically cursed and he loses body parts and he has to go like basically kill certain people to get his body parts back. So at a time, both of his arms are fucking swords. But he has like prosthetics. It's crazy. But yeah, that's actually a really good show. It's super underrated.
Have y'all watched Kaiju number 8?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The captain on that for me, like, because I haven't seen a lot of dual wielders. The captain on there, like, he's a badass. The dagger duel. Thorfinn. I know they're daggers, but man, Thorfinn's deadly with those bad boys.
Levi's technically dual wield.
Yeah. I'm taking Thorfinn. I love Levi, but I'm taking Thorfinn.
Thorfinn's a badass.
Joe, you got anything?
What was the question?
Who is the best dual wielder in all of the anime?
Not that I can think of like that. You guys haven't already covered. Dual wielder is not one that I kind of like have on the top of my head all the time.
I'm trying to get like different questions. It keeps kind of.
What's that Killer Bee?
Killer Bee. And that's another one though. Like I guess he has the ability to like dual wield, even though it is not dual wielding. It's freaking octo wielding, which is crazy when they have it like pinned behind their knee. I'm just like, come on, bro.
What about the dude from Demon Slayer that we love so much? The shiny,
Tengen?
Yeah.
Dude, flashy
Inosuke?
Hashira.
No, Inosuke all day long.
No.
Oh, yeah. Inosuke's a dual wielder too. Let's go, baby.
On the show. Actually, he's about to go off. But all I'm saying is that, my boy Zenitsu's obviously the better character.
No, he's not.
Don't worry
Although
about it.
he is about to freaking
Just
get
saying.
crazy.
Just saying. We'll see who we end up liking at the end of the show more.
I know who I love Inosuke. Inosuke can do no wrong in my opinion.
Inosuke's just fighting his fight. Zenitsu actually knows them is fighting for a reason at this point.
I think fighting to fight is honorable as fuck. He has no reason to be out there. He just enjoys it. That's amazing. That speaks to me.
Why does he wear a boar head and yell like a fucking idiot then?
To honor the mountain people, bro.
Isn't it his mom's head?
I'm usually against Nate. Like, the whole podcast I've been attacking Nate, but on this one, I got to go with Nate. Like, Inosuke is just so much better than Zenitsu. Look, he's been a crybaby for 8 seasons. This one last little hoorah of the season, like, I'm serious now. Like, unless they got some amazing backstory that's going to be like, oh, I feel that. Like, I can see why he's serious now.
Do you not know the backstory of why he's mad?
They haven't explained it. They haven't showed you the note or anything. So
no, they haven't explained anything. They just showed us that he read this note and got pissed off, and now he's like,
all right.
He's about to be cold AF, right?
There's a character connection that is in the show that is why Zenitsu's mad, and that's what the note's going to be about. I'll send you a video.
Yeah, I mean Zenitsu's going to be fun. He's going to be cool.
But does it make up,
dude?
the difference between him and Inosuke?
I can handle why. Like, I can't handle the boarhead dude. He just doesn't. He just yells. He yells for no reason.
I just want to point out Inosuke was moving the boulder without the mark, where Tanjiro needed the mark to move the boulder. Inosuke was out here just pushing the boulder during the Hashira training for the fun of it, because he's a badass. Tanjiro needed the mark. Inosuke just out here being a badass.
Gohan beat Cell. What does it matter?
Zenitsu didn't even move the boulder, did he? Like, he never got around to it. He's like, I'm gonna go beat these demons now, even though I can't even move a boulder. Like, come on. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Fuck the boulder. Like, boulder. Who cares about a boulder? I'm gonna just go kill the people killing my friends and family. How about that? Yeah. How unhonorable.
I can't complete the training to be on the same level as the
and then we trying to move a boulder while Zenitsu's like, I'll just go actually kill the people that matter. No big deal.
I can't even compete with the power levels of the people of the Hashira, but I'm gonna go be able to fight these demons. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, you're gonna see. You're gonna see.
Are we all gonna meet up and go watch the Demon Slayer trilogy in theaters?
Dude, we have to. We have to.
I mean, so y'all two are in Texas. I'm the furthest away, but I mean, I live right by an airport, so I could definitely do it. We could go meet somewhere in the middle. I don't know where the middle is. Maybe Louisiana, right? But hey, I know somebody that'll put us up in Louisiana. So
Jackson, Mississippi, my hometown.
man, I'd love to see Mama Treadwell. That'd be so fun.
Our house.
I'm down to meet wherever.
All right. So the next question, ChatGPT got a little soft on us. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even feel good about asking this, but I want to stay true to that. We got to answer what ChatGPT asked us. I'm not happy with this one. Just state it for the record. What is your favorite anime couple, and what do you think that it is that makes their relationship work?
I feel like most anime couples are like always like they're just never a couple. Like you're always like we just get together already. Like Jesus Christ, and they just don't.
Like subtle horniness.
Like the whole Deku and Ochaka or whatever, and like the Shield Hero just watched it, and like the Shield Hero and one of the other characters in this party, I was like, will you just like do this already and like get together and stop making all these hints that take up time where I'd rather be seeing you do other things than pretend not to like each other. Like I feel like that's what anime does a lot is that whole will they ever? Probably not.
Yeah. Side question. Is there a show anyone can think of where there just is like
Vegeta and Bulma,
like
Dragon Ball Z really?
Naruto and Hinata?
That was the whole thing. That was at
after.
the end. That was after the show literally ended.
Look,
with that.
I'm pro Hinata the whole time. That's all I'm
But
gonna
it was
say.
the whole same thing of like, will they, won't they? Like the whole like we just get together already and stop hinting at it. And then at least they did give it to us at the end. I will say that at least it happened eventually, but it took 350 episodes.
On the flip side of that, I have like a meme answer just because I want to throw shade. So Keaton, if you want to answer, you go ahead, and then I'm gonna meme answer.
I got a good one. That's weird. Spy Family. Anybody watch Spy Family?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spy Family.
That's good.
It's like they're in a relationship, but they're not in a relationship. But that's a pretty wholesome show.
It's a very good show. Yeah, basically they're using each other as covers, more or less.
Like one's an assassin and one's what's the other one?
A spy.
Yeah.
But they actually make like coincidentally a very good family.
And they don't know that each other are those things. Like the spy doesn't know that.
It's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Kind of, but their daughter can read minds, has mind reading powers.
So how's the daughter not rat on them?
And it's not their real daughter. Because she wants to keep the family together, and she knows if she tells the other that it'll throw a wrench in things.
Okay. All right. Everybody ready for the meme answer? And then we can move on.
Let's go.
Sakura and Sasuke, and the only reason it works because Sasuke's never fucking there because he's insufferable. If he was there, it wouldn't work. He's a pain in the ass, little whiny, broody douche. Although he's better in Boruto, but still, it's because he's never there. It's the only reason it works.
He went out for milk and never came back.
I wasn't going to say that because this is recorded and shared across all the internet, and that's a commonly joked thing I won't comment on. So this one's a little specific too. I think ChatGPT is going off the rails here, but it's fine. What anime has the most interesting take on time travel, and what makes it stand out? I don't think I've watched a single time travel anime.
Oh God! Eli, go ahead.
My answer's obvious. Yeah. Steins Gate. Steins Gate, one of my favorite all-time shows. I put in my top 5 list in the beginning, and it's crazy because it ties a lot of actual like real-world science and events and companies and things into this anime that's also absurd, but then goes in a different direction with it. You can't really say much about the show without giving a lot of it away, but yeah, it starts off as basically like this hodgepodge of sort of losers who have a science club. They say it's like the upstairs of a TV repair shop or something, and they're just there because they're bored or they have their own personal interests, and somehow they've wound up friends. But then they start doing actual experiments, and I guess you could say having some success, and it just snowballs immediately out of control. and a lot of the show is sort of them trying to deal with the repercussions of their little time travel experiments. So
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch that, honestly.
I'm
Yeah.
drawing a blank on like any anime with time travel.
I don't really love time travel, so that's a tough one for me. I do think that Steins Gate actually does it well, relatively speaking. I mean, I think Attack on Titans somewhat hint at Attack. I mean, however they intervened, it was actually well done compared to a lot of time travel. My problem is like if we're talking about time travel, an easy answer is a lot of isekai, and I just don't really like isekai that much because of time travel. So that's kind of a tough one for me, but I need to give ReZero a try again. The new season of that just came out. I need to try that. Tokyo Revengers I liked, but like it's starting to not be that great. The other isekai, I guess Erased is kind of an isekai. Time travel, they do okay. I don't know. I'm just not a big time travel person.
Erased is solid though. I mean, that's a good.
Erased is a good one. Erased is good, and then it's not like super time travel. We're like back and forth type thing.
Yeah.
My issue with time travel, and this is live action anime, all of it is you have to set up the rules, and then you need to follow said rules.
That's what Steins Gate does a good job of, actually.
Okay, so I have never watched a show where they follow the rules that are set for the time travel, right? Like there's always like we go back and we do this one thing. We go back and we do this one thing. And like it doesn't show the actual like ripple effect. Like the Flash is the worst part about doing it. Like, oh, if we go back and do this, it changes the whole world. Right. So like he can't go back and save his mom, but then like there's so many times where he goes back in time like 2 minutes to fix something, right? Like, no, if like going back in time 2 minutes changes the world, like you shouldn't do it. But they're like, oh, it's okay. This one time.
5-minute rule. It's a 5-minute rule.
Yeah, it's just it bothers me so much. I just can't do time travel. It's one of those things that just irks me so much.
It's just one of those things that Nate has a gripe with, you know. When it comes to anything.
He doesn't have many, you know, but
doesn't have many.
I don't have many. I don't have many. Y'all hating, but I don't have. All I ask is for a good story, decent animation,
notebook of Nate's
no time travel.
Joe. All of Nate's gripes.
It's not that Nate has many. It's that when he does, he's very passionate and open about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to put it, Keaton. It's not that I have many, but when I have them, I'll let you know. All right, so we have a couple more, and then we can call it. We're going on like an hour and a half here. I think so. With the last one and this one, ChatGPT, I should have told it and like programmed it to like remove the questions after it asked them. So we might be getting into some of the like re-ask. So if we did, just tell me. I've recently been concussed, so my brain doesn't work perfectly anymore currently. So which anime villain has the best backstory that adds depth to their character? I know we talked about some about villains and stuff and like the backstory of them, but I feel like this is a good question.
I don't know if I answered that or not.
oh, man,
I have an answer.
What's your answer?
The twins on Demon Slayer. I loved their backstory, the brother sister, right? And the brother protecting him and how he would have been more powerful if he would have just let her die. And their backstory of him being ugly, her, you know, and all of that stuff. Like it added so much depth to their characters and the understanding of who they are and why they, you know, like their abilities and everything. Like to me,
though, because that's like your favorite arc of Demon Slayer. Like,
well, yeah, that's true.
You love the flashy Hashira arc, like it's your favorite.
Yeah, it's the best one.
But that is a good answer too, though. Like they did that backstory pretty good.
That's a tough one.
I mean, I feel like you could argue Itachi if you view Itachi as like kind of a villain, although he's not. You know, like his backstory is crazy.
Yeah, I think my head always like. I love Pain, but I don't think that his backstory is unique, right? I think that as much as I love him, it's a lot of similarities and stuff. I would say one of probably my top 3 villains of all time, Askeladd.
That's a good one.
That's a great answer. I
Askeladd.
think we did talk about this on last episode because I remember us talking about Askeladd, me being like, fuck, that was a good answer. Or me saying, like, I think it was Askeladd as well, because the whole first season is really about him and you have no idea until the very end. And it just, like, you think he's the villain, but he's really, I mean, he is, but he isn't, you know?
Yeah, it's like,
I'm going to go. I know you hate MHA, but I'm going to go Dobby.
Fuck out of here, Joe. Eli, what do you got?
I mean, I'm having a problem coming up with like something that I really like. Cop out answer could be like Vicious from Cowboy Bebop, because although there aren't a ton of actual like story based episodes, like you do know the backstory of these main characters and why they like hate each other, or why like Spike and Vicious are after each other. And then the live action show on Netflix also, I mean, if you want to count that as like canon or whatever, like it does dive way deeper into their relationship. And it, I mean, they were like, Spike and Vicious were good buddies and the mafia, essentially the syndicate, and they were unstoppable. Then one of them gets a love interest, and one of them goes too deep in the dark side. The love interest likes the other guy. It was really intricate, and it was very like a human argument for something that they really didn't focus much on in the show, but it is there.
Yeah. I think the live action did a better job of telling the Vicious story than the anime did.
I honestly wish they would have toned it down. I didn't care that much about Vicious and Gloria, but you know, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, they told it better because there was no story in the anime.
I can't believe y'all watched that.
The Ant King in Hunter x Hunter wasn't bad.
Nate's face.
Fuck,
Yeah. No, look, just the growth that he
no, Miriam. I agree. Miriam.
Yeah,
Miriam was the best character of
Yeah.
all of it and stuff. Yeah, but I don't. That's not his like backstory. That's like the moment as it's happening. I guess it's his personality to want to grow, but that's still strategic. Like it wasn't, because like you see his whole story from birth to that. So that's not his backstory. That's an in the moment kind of thing where he's growing. His growth is amazing. His backstory is ass.
Yeah, I mean, I guess his backstory. So I guess I was kind of forgot the whole question there, but like,
no, your answer is stupid. What Snape's saying.
Yeah. Look,
No, that's not what I'm
Miriam was
saying.
a good villain in the end. Like,
100%.
He was a good villain for sure.
Yeah, like the way they like his death was like one of the best deaths. Like it was perfect. Like the way they did it, it was awesome. It hit me right in the heart. I was like, fuck, you know, that's so crazy good. The way he cared for that person when he didn't care for shit, you know, like she was able to like break that like wall down, dude. It probably one of the best parts of Hunter x Hunter. So but we don't have to go down that road. We all know where I stand.
what about
All right.
Orochimaru? Like, what do you guys think of Orochimaru?
It's a weird cat.
He's very unique. We talking about Mama Orochi or old school Orochi?
I mean, it's all one
You
character.
talk shit, but like those early seasons, Orochimaru was freaking carrying. Like he was a good ass villain.
Bro, his weirdness to me, like, I guess we'll just make the next question. Who's the weirdest character of all anime?
The weirdest character? I mean, Dandadan is popping in my mind right now.
Bro, the answer is Hisoka. Okay.
No, yes, Hisoka is the weirdest dude. The way he moans when he's like, "Oh, gone."
Bro, some of that shit in there where Hisoka would not be allowed today. Like,
Not at all.
There's some JoJo's characters that are pretty odd too. JoJo's is a unique show.
yeah, I want to check it out. I have like a list now. I feel like every time we come out of this, I come out of it with like a list. All right, so this is a pretty fun one. If you could have one anime ability or skill, and I think we kind of did this last time, what would it be and how would you use it? I know my answer right off, and it's not even close.
What's your answer?
Shadow clone. Like,
I remember this question.
Yeah, we had this one. Yeah,
Go
go to the next one.
Okay, next one. Here we go. What is the best anime crossover you've ever seen or would love to see happen? I don't think I've ever seen a crossover. Are there anime crossovers, like hero crossovers?
Dragon
Like,
Ball Z does some weird stuff, but
Okay, well then those is my answer because I have no idea. I've never
Yeah.
seen or even heard of anime crossovers.
It's mostly in like games, is what's popping into my head.
Yeah,
If Eli doesn't come up with an answer, I have no hope to answer this.
Let's skip that one. Go to the next one because I don't.
Okay. Which character's growth or development surprised you the most throughout the series? Like you didn't expect, and it just came out of nowhere.
came out of nowhere. That's Zenitsu, who 180 harder than any character I've ever seen.
That's right. Zenitsu.
What?
I don't know. I won't call it growth yet because I haven't seen what's going on. But as far as changed his tone,
Shit. Villain Saga, you could do Askeladd or you could do Thorfinn.
Yeah.
Thorfinn's just, I guess you could kind of see that coming after the end of season 1, but it's pretty rash.
I feel like a lot of the characters, though, it's so telegraphed. Like, it's hard to think of one that you didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Like, Zenitsu would be the one that's like, oh, I didn't see that coming, just because it's like he gets a letter and like, oh, I didn't expect that. But I'm trying to think of one I just didn't see coming. Like, that's pretty tough.
So for me, the first thing that comes to mind is Hunter x Hunter, the chain kid, right? Like I knew it was going to be cold. I just didn't know how cold, right? Like that fight, just crazy. Yeah. So for me, that's like the first place my head went.
I got a perfect one that Nate is going to love. Toga.
Oh, dude, Joe, I'm done with you. We're going to the next one.
The power of friendship changed her whole.
I think that's very honorable.
Yeah, you have the most beautiful smile or the best smile of all, whatever.
That's about as deep as a guy wearing a boar head that just yells because he just wants to fight. Yeah.
Okay. I'm done with all y'all but Eli. Eli, you're my best friend now. Congratulations.
Shots fired.
Who is the most underrated anime character and what do you love about him?
ooh, that is a good one.
That is a good one.
This is a really good one.
My first thought went into, and I'm going to think of another one, but just so to get this started, Reagan from Mob. I just love that motherfucker so much.
Wait, repeat the question.
Who is the most underrated anime character and what do you love about him?
Underrated. Inosuke. No, I'm just kidding. Just trying to trigger Keaton over there again. Underrated anime character. I don't know if he's underrated, but like just someone I wish there was more screen time of was Lemillion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about Aruka Sensei?
Yeah, underrated for sure, right?
A huge reason Naruto is who he is. Stayed there, walked him down the aisle. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean,
From episode 1 too. I mean, he was there.
maybe Kite from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of like just someone like people that I feel like should have had more screen time and should have been more spotlighted, like based on their backstory, like because I feel like they built Kite up and then just killed him like super quick.
Yeah, they did. I feel like Hunter did that a lot, though. There was a lot that they just left out there to be desired. So for me, and it's just because I think he's funny. He's pervy as fuck, but he like cracks me up sometimes. It's grape juice. I don't think he's underrated at all. I think he's perfectly rated, but like I think he's hilarious sometimes.
No. In the last episode where they panned to him like face down, I was like, "What did he even do?" Like I haven't seen him. He's just knocked out in the dirt. Like I was like, "What happened to grape juice, man?"
Bro, I thought All for One was gonna take grape juice's ability, and I was so excited to see it.
He already does not want that ability, man. Get out of here,
Bro. He cracks me up so much.
No, someone who is underrated is definitely the best genist.
Genius. Man, you'll get out of here. I do like Hawks though.
Hawks is not underrated though. Do you
I
know how
know,
cool he looks? He is definitely not
I
underrated.
know he's badass.
I'm trying to think if anybody actually comes to mind. I don't know why. I just keep going to Grape Juice. Grape Juice is my answer, I
You want
think.
from Haikyuu?
Bro, okay, season 1, the tall guy, right? Like they kind of hate on him. He doesn't do much, but when he goes in, he's efficient. He's underrated. They don't appreciate him, but the dude crushes it every time.
He gets better in the show too, like better and better. Like
Yeah, he's kind of shy, don't get a lot of screen time, but he does what is asked of him. And he might like diss on the team, but he's a team guy. So that was a great one. That dude.
what about the in Demon Slayer? It's the masked core guy who's always carrying Tanjiro around on his back. About that,
Bro, that dude, core strength and leg strength for days, son.
What would Tanjiro be doing without him? Come on now.
Or their blacksmith.
Yeah,
Blacksmith, yeah.
but he got
Dude,
some screen
No,
time.
that blacksmith is not underrated. That dude took a beating while he
Yeah.
was still, and he was just not. He's like, no, I'm gonna finish this sword. While one of the upper ranked demons was literally lashing this dude.
Did he lose an eye?
Dude.
What about the dude that blew himself up? I don't know if he's underrated, but I just like feel like I don't fully understand like everything about him. Like they gave us some, like for Demon Slayer to be so good at storytelling and backstory telling, I feel like I wanted more about the dude than what I had, and then he just blows up his whole fucking family. Right? Like
The
yeah.
leader of the demon corps, like
yeah.
the Demon Slayer corps.
Like
yeah.
I wish we could have like I know they did some, but like it would have been cool to go down like a whole story arc for him to understand how he ended up how he is, what's going on. I know they touched on it, but just more depth I think would have been great.
Is he underrated though, or is he just cold? Like
Well, I mean, underrated in the sense I thought he was just dying. You know, I was like, oh, he's gonna like fade into darkness, and then out of nowhere, boom, blows his whole family up.
that was just
That was awesome.
I didn't see it
was
coming.
awesome, but
I was underrating
unnecessary.
him. I didn't think he had that in him, Joe. He was underrated in my book. I thought he was just going to fade to black, right?
Yeah,
He said, fuck no, look at what I can do. Kill everyone that I care about. So, ha ha.
there's a difference between underrated and just unnecessary. Like, what was the reasoning for that? You did not have to murder your wife and kids to postpone a demon by 30 seconds. Like
To show
what the
Muzan he
fuck?
doesn't fuck around anymore, Joe. All right,
It
message needed to be
literally
sent.
took that dude 30 seconds to regenerate himself, and you just wiped out your whole lineage. Like, what the hell?
He said they got to slow him down just for a second.
It's for the village.
It was literally for a second. Like, you just killed your kids.
Well,
For the
For
village.
1 second. Like, come on.
underrated at its best. You didn't see it coming. He did it. Underrated, right? Nobody was like, he's going to blow up this whole fucking place, but he did it.
Because
He
it
did what
doesn't
was
make
necessary.
sense, and it didn't impact anything. Like,
Yes, it
what?
did, Joe. Calm down.
He didn't know that after he murdered his family, though. He thought like, "Oh, I'm murdering my family, and the Hashira are gonna end this whole war."
He is the original
No, he-
demon. There's
didn't
no
know
way
he-
he thought that was going to work.
He didn't know you could put him into a fucking 10-layer pit of whatever the fuck they're at. You know who's underrated? Alakazam, because I didn't know Alakazam. I didn't know Gengar was so popular.
So Gengar's underrated in your mind.
Gengar's underrated.
Nah, he's not overrated. I actually really like Gengar. I just didn't know the affinity for Gengar until I was older.
Man. You know who's underrated? The main character of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
Still underrated.
I've watched the first like 7 minutes of that show and then turned it off.
I basically watched what
You and probably a million other people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
literally.
watched like a few episodes after I Googled like, is Goblin Slayer this ridiculous like in every episode? And it was like, no. I watched like some more episodes of it, but I just got bored. I was like, yeah, he literally just kills goblins. Like, there's no plot to this. Like, the guy hates goblins and he's gonna kill goblins. That's the show.
I don't like all the good shows that have been rated so high. Like, what goes through your head saying, you know what, I'm gonna ignore every anime that has been recommended to me by trusted sources, Google, all of this, and I'm gonna watch Goblins.
I was getting a tattoo on Friday the 13th, and it was the Tattoo's Apprentice that was like, you have to watch this.
Okay.
I was getting tattooed, so some pain was involved, like that kind of thing. Like,
I'm concerned for that tattoo artist that he's out here recommending Goblin Slayer to
it
people.
wasn't the artist; it was an apprentice.
I'm concerned about the apprentice. It doesn't change. I'm very concerned about the people that you associate with, Joe.
You're thinking about calling the cops on him?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't warn me at all. He was just like, dude just loves killing goblins. I think he just wanted to just fuck with somebody. Like, that's probably what it
What
was.
do you think his IQ was, Joe? Just curious.
17. Like, he probably wants to kill goblins. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
So Eli, we were talking one off, just us because we didn't. We were talking about My Hero, and you hadn't caught up yet. And we were talking about Dandadan, and imagine like trying to like get your friends into watching anime, and then you recommend Dandadan, and they go to watch it, and you have to defend it. Imagine what that conversation would be like.
give me your banana.
You know what? We've all had that conversation because we've all been watching something and someone walked in at the worst possible moment.
No, like if someone walked in with you watching Dandadan, like there's nothing you can say to that.
If that person has never watched anime, you're just a fucking weirdo the rest of your life. And
Yeah, you like there's no coming back from that. Especially like if they walked in when the alien whipped it out, like
give me your dog.
you're done. You're done. Or when the granny was just like, I'll let you whatever my teats if you let me gobble your
Suckle my teats, boy.
I almost watched that in front of Carly because Carly doesn't really care. I'm actually glad I did it.
There were several times, like I said, I was very glad Steph did not walk in the living room because I was watching it on the big screen. It wasn't even like a phone thing. I just leaned into it.
I will say shout out. I think Devin's watching. She was earlier, but I will say shout out to Devin. After I watched it, I immediately went to Devin and was like, please go watch this show really quickly. Just watch it tonight. And she actually dug it. She was like, that was wacky, but I like it.
There you go.
Hey, me and Nate got in this conversation when we talked about it because I watched it before Joe did, so I talked to Nate about it. Not to get on, very similar to Black Mirror first episode. If you can show me that you're willing to do some crazy shit, I like it.
And we did talk about this. Black Mirror the first episode of Black Mirror is fucked up. Like it's more fucked up than Dandadan.
Yeah,
So,
100%. And it's I guess because it's more realistic, maybe because it's not animated. Like it's.
I guess.
Black Mirror will forever be cemented as one of the most effed up things that I've ever seen.
So this is not a ChatGPT question, but I think it's a good question. What anime has the best intro theme song? I've been on an intro theme song kick in my car, just like fucking jamming out. What anime has the best intro theme song? Eli, this is up your alley, bro. This is like your home.
Yeah, I love music. That's too many.
Ooh. Wait, before Eli answers, because I flash back to like our episode that we had Eli on to talk about anime, and he just started listing out like soundtracks and stuff. I was like, oh my god, like what? I have two that I want to shout out. One was just the Linkin Park Dragon Ball Z song, like just because nostalgia. I was a little kid, like it went hard. And then two, Kaiju 8, the intro and the outro, like both of those.
They were good. That's real.
I like, this is just weird because I skip all of it.
I'll listen to it once just to see it, and then I skip it every time after that. I should have known from Dandadan, like that from that intro, like it was going to be fucked up just because.
Hey, that intro is getting a lot of love right now. The rappers, like that song is blowing up outside of anime too. Like people are just like here for it. They're loving it.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind it. I don't know. I like the JJK first season stuff, but I don't really keep up with it like that. To be honest, I hadn't gotten into that realm of it yet.
So I do something. The first couple episodes, I watch it because I want to register it. I want to know what it is, and then like I skip it throughout the middle. And then when I'm like 5 episodes from the season being over, I'm like, well, I got to listen to it because I'm not going to hear it anymore after this, right? So I need to appreciate it. So I watch it the first few episodes, skip all of it, and I watch it like the last 5 episodes. Like I've been enjoying the My Hero intro, right? Like it's fun, it's upbeat, it's good. So that's what I do.
Bluebird is probably the most iconic that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
From Naruto.
That's true.
All right, Eli, we're gonna give you the floor. Like we know that you are like the expert in anime soundtracks.
Pointless to even ask me.
Bring it home, Eli. This is it. This is your time to shine, baby.
Intros only. I mean,
Intro or outro. This is your world.
Yeah.
I will never forget one of the most iconic moments of my life. It was like 2005. I'm in an ice cold hotel conference room at like 5 a.m. watching my first episode of Naruto, like episode 1, and Wind, the outro song, hits, and the little animation they have of like a butterfly and whatnot. Like that was a really unique song. I love that song. I still do. If you want to go just like absolute bangers, then like all the songs by Lisa on the Demon Slayer intros, like no one's gonna forget. I don't even know which season it was. Got it brought up here. It's probably season 1, but yeah, like the Demon Slayer intro songs, ridiculous. There's 2 songs. I think one of them's an intro and one's an outro. But in Haikyuu, there's some super popular songs. I mean, like, so I have playlists I listen to. They're curated anime soundtrack stuff, and those are always popular songs just in the anime community. I actually got to see them live in San Antonio this year too, which was awesome. And then just one for fun that I will smile and laugh and move along to every time is the intro song to How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift? And I think the song is called Onegai Muscle. And I just listen to the song or look it up on YouTube for the music video, and it's the most absurd thing. I know I've mentioned it before probably, but it's the most absurd song, but it's so catchy, and I love it every time I hear it.
Send it in our group message.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how do we feel? Do we want more? We want to kind of start winding down. 1 more, 2 more, no more.
I gotta eat and do computer work for work.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good with calling it. We'll see y'all again, hopefully next month, but no idea when that will actually happen.
Well, it will happen.
If we're being honest.
In a month or 3.
But it will happen. But
Yeah.
see y'all. Thanks everyone for watching.